Now here I am knocking out another video at 2 in the morning, but I wanted to get this together. This video is for the soon to be happening Florida Artists Blacksmith Association Conference. And it's about the class that I've got on friction folding knives. So anybody can watch it, but it's mainly for these guys who are going to try and let them know what's happening. The idea of the class is to give somebody an idea of what it's like to put a folding knife together and basically end up with a finished product. I started out with this basic parts here. I got some wood, put it together. This is some sort of exotic wood. It's hard, although it's blonde. I roughed out the shape and smoothed a little bit, but it needs a lot of finishing. And then there's the blade. The blade is not hardened. The idea is to put some firework on the blade. I've already basically done the bevels. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice a little bit of firework on a test piece, short time, then spend some time putting firework on the blade if you want to. I would encourage you to do that. And then we're going to heat treat, we're going to temper, and then we're going to finish sanding the blade. We're going to put some sort of finish on the wood, a couple of varieties, but basically some neutral stain and maybe some wax, something like that. And we're going to peen the blade together. Unless someone's not finished and want to take it home and finish later on, that's what they can do. I've got this sort of bird's eye grommet in here, and what you're going to end up with is something like this. This is sort of a prototype, and it's sort of a functional friction folder. You can't make a complex, folding knife like a liner lock in 4 hours very easily. So all we got is about 4 hours to do this. So that's why I'm doing this, hopefully to get some experience. I have a pin spinner, a head spinner for the brass pins, or you could peen them and make it smooth. And by the way, this is a knife I'm going to donate to the auction. They love straight knives, and there's a story to this, so that's why I made that. And that's pretty much it. They wanted basically to assemble this knife like someone would more or less do at home. So they don't want me to use the heat treat furnace. We're going to use a gas forge. We'll try and get the colors right and test with a magnet, and we're going to put it in quench oil and all that. So there's going to be a lot of sanding and a lot of finish work, and hopefully you'll learn something. You have a test piece, maybe you'll have a knife that has some use after all. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep it short, but importantly, this is what you're going to need to bring, and what you're going to need to bring is a pair of safety glasses. If you don't have any safety glasses, I'm going to make you wear mine, and you're going to look like a nerd, and then I'm going to take your picture and put it immediately on the internet. So you better bring some safety glasses, but we'll probably have some there. Faba's got some, and you must wear safety glasses. Now there's a lot of other optional stuff. You're going to be doing a lot of sanding on these handles, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring a respirator. something, keep the dust out. Some of these cloth respirators all are fine, but you know, one of these COVID type masks, that's not going to do very much. So think about a respirator. They're going to be possibly some machinery. We might have a little grinder or something like that, drill press. So some hearing protection. You might have some hearing nuts or some earplugs. Think about that. And for wood finish, I'm going to bring a couple varieties of wood finish, but it's really basic stuff. If you've got some of this $50 Homer Formby tabletop finish, something you want to bring, fine. You can bring that, or you got some this furniture oil, that's okay. And then we're going to be working with oil and stuff like that, so we'll have some rubber gloves there, but if you want to bring some extra rubber gloves, the thin kind, that's good. We'll be heat treating. Going to need some leather gloves to get near that forge, because gas forge gets pretty hot, and we'll have some leather gloves, but if you want to bring your own, do that. There's going to be a lot of messy stuff and clean it up, so if you got some extra rags and paper towels, we'll have those, but if you want to bring some extra, that's good. I'll probably have a face shield or two, because it gets a little problematic. Oh, one thing I do strongly recommend, if you've got some magnifiers, because you're going to be working down there with the firework, you're going to be looking for scratches in your knives, you're going to be looking for scratches on the wood handle, and a pair of magnifiers are a good bet. Help out a lot. And let's see, we're going to be using glue and so that's pretty much it. And that's going to be the end of the video, but I'm going to stick around for a little psychobabble, knife talk, BS, and pure BS. So thank you very much for watching. And the first knife story I want to say, I told my wife, I said, here's what I'm doing, because we're going to get this done in 4 hours. And I'm going to walk people all the way through. And I said, I've got the wood partially sanded, I've got to round it off, and then I got the blade, I got the bevel ground, I got, of course, the profile, I got the pivot in there, I've got everything like that. And she says, well, what are they going to do? It looks like not much, but believe me, these bevels have like 80 grit scratches in them. You're going to have to do a lot of elbow grease. We've got handles there, wood sticks with sanding, for sanding blocks and all. Going to be a lot of work smoothing out this handle, getting this smooth as a baby's ass is what you want to do, and that's going to take some time, a lot of elbow grease. So there's going to be plenty to do. I taught this class before several years ago. At that time, I think they gave me 10 students, and then like 1 or 2 more wanted to sign up. So I said, yeah, go ahead. I think right now we're only planning for 8 students. So we're just going to keep it small. We're going to get through. I mean, 8 students might not even sign up. I don't know. But plenty of attention. Hopefully people are going to learn a lot. And they will be able to finish this in the 4 hours that we've been given. And the forecast for the weather is supposed to be good, so I don't think we'll have any trouble there. Thank the Lord. When I did this class before, I always want to share this story with somebody. There's a whole bunch of guys, and I'm telling them about what to do, and I said, put the firework on the blade, and I said, you can make anything you want. I said, there's no, anything, it's all up to you. You could even, turn this into a Bowie knife, for all I care. I'll help you, but this is the idea, what we're going to do. And I said, okay, everybody get to work and put firework on the blade. And one guy says, I don't want to put firework on my knife. And I kind of browbeat him into it. Right after saying you can do anything you want, I hear him browbeat it. Come on, you got to put firework on it. But again, you know, that's kind of a good thing, because when you take these classes, you're kind of forced to do something that you normally wouldn't do, and that's kind of a good thing. But if somebody doesn't want to put firework, I mean, you know, if somebody wants to not make a round handle but square or something like that, or octagon, hey, you know, fine. We'll try and come up with a plan, and the idea is we're all going to have fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's not just learning, it's having a good time. So I'm at that class, and I got these 11, 12 students, and one of them is a young lady, and this young lady is beautiful. And that's part of the story. The fact is that she was beautiful, and she's about 21 or 22, I'd say, and she had a couple tattoos, but you know, they looked all right. And I just knew that everybody who came through because it was a conference, and a lot of people walking through this big shop, and I go, man, every guy who comes through there is going to hit on her. And I go, you know, I felt kind of sorry for her, because she might want to concentrate on doing her knife and not this guy coming over and hitting on her, you know. So, but you know, a girl like that can take care of herself. They don't need me. But anyway, I still felt compelled to, like, say, you know, if somebody comes over and bothers you, let me know, and instead of you trying to politely tell them that you're busy, I'll come over and politely tell them that you're busy. I don't know what to say, but I said something. I wanted to be subtle, which is a mistake. So I said, after we get done heat treating, we're going to put the knives in I want you guys to go home and put these knives in a oven at, you know, like 425 degrees or whatever for 2 hours. Take it out and do it again. Do a double temper, which is recommended, because I was using 1085 at the time. The steel we're using now is 8670, which I got from Pop's Supply, and they said it was really good steel. It's very economical, although it is just about as good as 1095, which 1095 is excellent. I found out that this stuff will rust if you sneeze on it. It rusts about as bad as '01, but it heat treats real nice, and it's easy to work with. It already comes with 80 grit scratches, and I put 80 grit scratches on it when doing a bell, so a lot of sanding. But I said to the class, I said, okay, now you go home and you bake your knives. I says, is baking knives, am I talking about sexual harassment? And I said, okay, no sexual harassment during the class. That was my subtle way of saying, okay, I hope nobody decides to hit on you. But anyway, sure enough, this girl's working, and every guy comes in there is hitting on her. But I'm so busy. This guy said, how do I do this? How do I do that? Show me this. Help me with this. I'm running around, you know, with 12 people. It's pretty hectic. I got all the heat treat done. Everybody got to a good point. Only about 4 people finished the knife entirely, which, you know, still is pretty good. The rest of the people had to take it home and finish it. But everybody said it was cool. They had a good time. They knew it was a lot of work. At that class, I just gave them 2 pieces of wood and a separate spacer. They had to glue it together. They had to pin it. The blade I partially ground a little bit, but they had to grind the blade, profile more, and put in firework. Man, even experienced knife maker, you know, it was like 5 hours of work. They couldn't get it done, and we went way overtime. But you know, instead of 4 hours, we were there for like 5.5 hours, and still. So, anyway, this girl comes up to me, and she says, "Now, how am I supposed to pin my handle together?" And what she had done was, instead of having this piece here, wood, where you could pin to, she'd come along and she cut the wood like about an 1/8 inch around the blade. And I said, okay, well, what you got to do is you got to take about a 1/4 inch, grind off the blade, and then you'll have enough room on the wood now to put pins in. She says, what? I don't want to shorten my blade. I said, yeah, but you know, you can't pin in an 1/8 inch length of this wood. It just won't hold. I mean, it's not an engineering possibility. It's mechanically unsound. And she says, yeah, but this guy came over and told me to cut it that way. And I'm like, who? And it was the director of the conference. He come over and hit on her and helped her and smiles and all like that, which I thought was kind of bad because he was engaged to this woman who was also at the conference. So she kind of looks at me like, oh, you know, it's not my fault. And I'm saying, you know, it's not my fault. So I said, look, get 2 pieces of wood out of the box and start over the handle. It's late in the day, but you got enough time to throw a handle together. And of course, she already had another guy in tow who was hanging around her. So they both look at each other and go, okay, let's get to work. And she goes off, and I guess she ended up finishing her knife. But I'll never forget that episode. So it's going to be a fun class, and hopefully people will have a great learning experience, have a lot of fun. Wear that eye protection. Nobody gets hurt. I don't care if you don't come home with a knife at all, as long as you'll come home without getting hurt. Although a few burns and a few cuts and a few scratches are to be expected. When I say hurt, I mean, you know, really hurt. So I'm going to be trying to watch out. We're trying to be safe. If you have any problems with shop safety, please tell me immediately. If you see somebody doing something dangerous, please tell me. If you see something that doesn't look right or whatever, let me know, because I don't want anybody to get hurt, and I want everybody to enjoy the experience. So I'm going to throw this together, put it up. Hopefully this has been some use to some of the upcoming students. Thanks a lot.